When multiplying two matrices together, the first thing we want to do is look at the first matrix and determine its dimension. Here we have one row, so 1 by, and two columns, 1 by 2. And then the second matrix, we can see we have two rows and 3 columns, so it's a 2 by 3. So again, we have one row by 2 columns. In the second one, we have 2 rows by 3 columns, as you can see right here. So the first thing we can do, a little trick, is we want to see, does the number of columns in the first matrices match the number of rows in the second? Well, easy way to do that is to write out the dimensions right next to each other, and if the middle equal each other, which 2 does equal 2, that's going to tell us that the number of columns in the first equal the number of rows in the second. So with that being done, we know we can look on the outside. The 1 and the 3 will tell us their new dimension, which will be a 1 by 3. Meaning we're going to have one row with 3 columns in our final answer. So one way to get started before we start multiplying is to circle all the rows in our first matrix and circle all the columns in our second matrix. And then we can start multiplying. So as you can see, this spot right here is going to be in the first row and then the first column. This spot right here is going to be in the first row again, but the second column. And then this spot right here is going to be, again, the first row multiplied by the third column. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up here and we're going to go ahead and multiply this first row here, so it's -5, by the first column with the -4, or with the +4. So -5 times 4 will give us -20, plus we'll have the -4 times the -5 in the first column, which would be +20. For the second spot in our answer, we're going to still be in the first row, but now we're going to be looking at that second column. So again, this first row, but now we're going to be multiplying by the second column. So it'll be -5 times -1, which would be 5, plus that -4 times the 2. So the -5 goes with the -1 when you multiply, and -4 goes with the 2. So it'll be plus -8. In the third spot, we're going to be looking at that first row again, and from matrix 1, and then we're going to be multiplying it by the third column. So right here is our first row. We're going to go ahead and multiply it by the third column. The -5 times -2 will give us 10, and then the -4 times 1 will give me a +4, so +4. So my final answer is we're just going to go ahead and simplify. -20 plus 20 is 0. 5 plus -8 is -3. And 10 plus 4 will be 14. And then we're done multiplying our matrices.